It's rivalry weekend. We've been waiting for it for a while. College football does this every year, saves the best for last. So whether you're talking the Apple Cup, Iron Bowl, Ohio State, Michigan, War on I-4, all kinds of rivalries this weekend. Really excited to talk about college football. We got a lot going on, games, all week long. Not on Wednesday though. We do have the Egg Bowl on Thursday, a bunch on Friday, and a full slate of great football on Saturday. So we'll get right into it. This is actually the last weekly filming of Marketology. It will exist in some form or fashion, probably mostly talking to bookmakers going forward throughout the college basketball and NBA season, seeing how they are kind of taking bets, what they're looking out for. But as far as getting prepared for the upcoming college football, kind of getting in front of the odds makers, this will be the last weekly episode of Marketology. We're going to have a bowl special as well, where we're going to have different handicappers come in, break down pretty much every bowl game. So stay tuned for that on SBR Picks. But guys, this is about grading the moves beforehand and also what's going on this week in early week trading in college football. So we'll break down the big moves off of last week's card. We'll get right into it. We got a graph here. We'll throw it up. And first off, we had 117, 118. We got Western Michigan versus Toledo. This one opened Toledo minus 11.5. Bought up to as high as 15.5 right now. So the market's really liking the Rockets. They have pretty much week after week in action. We got one in the Big Ten, 169, 170. Penn State versus Maryland. Penn State opened minus 18, bought up to minus 21. If you've watched the show, you know I'm a big fan of Dave Malinsky, who writes a piece every day on SBR Sports Picks called Point Blank. He breaks down certain games in the line movement. He brought a great point on this one, grading Maryland's defense against Michigan State's offense and really having to throw it out. They did play well statistically, but you got to remember the weather conditions, pretty much all snow. So that's a big reason why in that game in the Big Ten. But out in the Pac-12, we got 211, 212. Oregon State, Oregon, the Civil War here. Oregon opened minus 21.5, bought up to minus 26. We've seen it a bunch, Oregon State getting faded, but this one I think is the biggest move of the week, and it has a lot to do with Oregon's quarterback. Herbert is back, and the Oregon offense is just a different animal with him at the helm. So that's a huge reason why the Ducks have gotten bet up just in the first 24 hours of trading in the Civil War this week. Also, keep in mind, this is a quick show. When we get into the double-digit weeks in college football, there's just not as big as moves going forward. Also, this week, something we may need to hit up with Dave Mason is the books were a little late with their totals. I was talking about it, Ed Fang. He needs to move up man versus machine this week, and he was kind of waiting on the totals to be released, and they were coming out a little bit later. Not sure what was going on, if that has something to do with rivalry week or injuries, just kind of across the board, but it's something to keep in mind totals wise this week in college football. But we are about grading the plays from the previous week as well to see if the market is still in tune. We went on a hell of a run on the notable line moves, but this past week, a lot of losses, and we'll read them to you. 307, 308. Eastern Michigan versus Miami of Ohio. If you remember, Eastern Michigan, they opened Pick'em, and then Miami of Ohio got bet minus 3.5, and that was an absolute wrong side move. The market was kind of buying on the fact that Eastern Michigan got their 7th loss, therefore not being bowl eligible and not having as much to play for. But either way, Chris Creighton's done a great job there with Eastern Michigan, and they came out, they won the game. So wrong move there. We had another action here, 313, 314, Buffalo versus Ball State. This one hurts. Guys, if you haven't heard about this game, one of the worst beats of the college football season. This got bought up from 17.5 up to 20.5. Buffalo took money. Also a fade on Ball State. Buffalo ended up going down, driving down, had multiple opportunities to score touchdowns in the fourth quarter, did not, and ended up kneeling the ball and not scoring. So if you bet Buffalo like I did, my heart goes out to you. Either way, it was a wrong side move. If they would have scored the touchdown, pretty much the opener to the closer would have won. But either way, got to grade it as a loss. 387, 388, Kansas State versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State minus 17 and a half up to 21. Wrong side loser there with Kansas State winning the game, which was kind of surprising to a lot of people. I didn't get a chance to really break this game down, but wrong side move nonetheless. Grading last week's play, actually took the loss on Georgia Tech Duke under. Really just second half kind of got out of hand, and really no way to explain it, just wrong side there. So did take the loss, moves the record to 21 and 18, and in the profitable but under a unit. So hate to go into a new week of Marketology with kind of that in mind, but it is what it is, guys, and hopefully can end the regular season in the positive. And with this week's bets, going to the Sunbelt and taking Arkansas State -8 over ULM. ULM is a team that I do like. I think kind of in the future seasons, a team to really bet on. However, it's just a step up in class. Arkansas State is a different beast, and just laying 8, I know the market's already bought it down. And hell, maybe the smart thing to do is to wait for 7. However, we're filming this, 5 o'clock Pacific on Monday around this time. So I got to go with what I see, and I'm taking Arkansas State -8. Hopefully end the year of Marketology in the positive. Guys, that's how we're going to have to leave it with the last filming of Marketology on a weekly basis. We will exist in some form or fashion, mostly talking to bookmakers. Feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Drew Martin Bets. Any other questions, happy to answer them in the future. Also use the hashtag AskSBR. But guys, hopefully Arkansas State can win this game by more than 8 points, end in the positive for the Marketology plays, and hopefully we helped you get on the right side of some of these moves this year in college football betting. But make sure to stay tuned to SBR Picks. We got a lot going on for bowl season in college football. So for Sportsbook Review, I'm Drew Martin. Thanks for tuning in.